How's it going, people? I'm Zephyros, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I put a video out. Personal life and work life have just been super busy, so I decided to put content creation on the back burner for a little bit. But it's a new year. I'm ready to put out some more content. So today's video, it's going to be about the current Guild versus Guild ranking system, which quite frankly is a broken system. There's just so much wrong with it. So let's get into what is actually wrong with it and how we can fix it. Right, so I don't want this to be a long video, but if I start ranting, I apologize. This has just been something that's been bugging me for so long since Guild versus Guild started. It's like really bugged me, and so I hope and pray that the devs watch this and they actually listen and sort this out. Okay, so let's look at the current system. What's wrong with it? Okay, so the way Guild versus Guild is currently ranked and sorted right now is when you win, you gain points. When you lose points, right? They've not really been very transparent with how exactly the points are calculated. Seems to be a running theme with Moonton. But essentially, you lose. I think it works out. You lose about 20 points if you lose. So, and if you win, you gain about 20 points. But we played this guild here. I think in German means sword and shield, right? So we played them last. So they would have been about 1368. They've obviously lost to us, and they've been knocked down to eighth. Right. So you can work your way up to second. We don't lose. We haven't lost. We're undefeated since Guild versus Guild started. And when guilds play us, they kind of almost expect to lose. And when they get knocked down, they get knocked down to eighth, right? There's such a big disparity just being knocked down there, and that just gets amplified as you get further and further down the table. So to kind of put it in perspective, you've got guilds like the Shire, you've got Dawn, part of another mad guild, and CLSE. These are like top five guilds, right? And they're sitting at 9, 11, and 12. These guys will play each other, these guys will play each other, these guys will play each other, and so on and so forth, right? So Dawn will play CLSE. One of these guys is going to lose, right? Say, for example, let's just say that Dawn loses this matchup, right? If they lose, they're going to lose another 20 points. 20 points takes them down to here, to 30th. This is a top five guild, right? It's going to come into 30th. They're going to play someone around here. And this could be someone who's managed to work their way up, a guild who has worked their way up to this place, right? And they're going to play a top five guild in position 30, and they're going to lose 20 points. Losing 20 points is going to knock them out of platinum, right? They're going to come right down here into like 80th from 30. So a guild plays us in second place and they end up eighth. Then you get a guild who in eighth place will then get knocked down into like 30th. And then you get a guild in 30th who get knocked down to 80th, right? This guild system, this guild ranking system is broken. It does not make sense. Guilds that have no business being in this kind of region will end up being here just because of a stupid ranking system, right? It's broken. In devs, if you're listening, sort this out ASAP because it does not make sense. Stop focusing on new demon soldiers being created when the actual fundamental ranking system is completely broken, right? This does not affect just one guild or a few guilds. This affects every single guild who cares about Guild versus Guild. They are disproportionately affected based on losses that they shouldn't be going up against these kind of guilds, right? So how do you fix this? That's the important thing, right? How do you create a fair system? The reason it needs to be sorted out is because in the very last week, any guild who ends up playing us just gets absolutely knocked right out of the ranking system. Right? They just get put right down here. It doesn't make sense. Someone who has a guild who has consistently for 10 weeks put in effort and done really well to get into the top three, they shouldn't be knocked right out of the rankings just because they lost to the top guild. It doesn't make sense, right? Similarly, a guild who has worked hard to put themselves into the top 10 shouldn't then get completely smashed out of the rankings just because they played the third best guild or they played the fifth best guild, right? It doesn't make sense. That one loss shouldn't knock them right out of the rankings, right? So I don't like pointing out a problem without creating a solution, right? And so the easy solution, if you look at any professional sport, they use a league. They use a league with multiple tiers of leagues, right? And depending on how long you want your season to last for, you can create a different kind of number of guilds that go into each league. So if you want a 10-week season, then just put 20 guilds in one league. Right? That way you have 19 matches because we do 2 matches every week, right? And so if you want a 10 season week, you just need 19 matches where you play every single guild in your league once. That way you don't have guilds who are every 3 matches. There are guilds who end up playing us and they just get loss after loss, right? Every few weeks, every 3 matches they lose to us, right? It's just not fair. It doesn't make sense. And it also gets boring. Like we end up playing the same guilds week after week, right? And it's just boring. If we play a different league a different guild, sorry, every week, it's a fair system because everyone has played everyone once. So at the end of the 10 weeks, it's based on the merit of who has performed best over those 10 weeks, right? So if you say, for example, you want a 10 season week, you can shorten it. You can go 8 weeks and have 15 teams, right? Or if you want it even shorter, you can just have less teams in a league. But have League One, if you want to call that Apex Overlord, fine. But have League One, League Two, League Three, League Four, League Five, right? Have set number of leagues for, I don't know, the top 300 guilds, right? Beneath that, have open like how it is at the moment, have open tier, right? Where all these leagues just play each other. And then the way it changes is every single season, the bottom 3 teams get relegated, right? Relegated from, so say League One, bottom 3 teams get relegated. The top 3 teams of Tier Two of League Two get promoted into League One, right? If you have these different tiers, then what eventually happens is it evens out. So guilds that are, say for example, completely free to play guilds, they end up in a certain bracket. They all end up in this tier where it's fair. They're all playing guilds who are at the same level as them. So it still actually feels competitive. It's a fun experience where you're just not getting trampled. You're not a tier 30 guild playing a tier 5 guild getting just completely destroyed, have no chance against their teams, right? And it's just demoralizing and it's not fun, right? If you get these different tiers, the guilds that are in the top 20, they're going to be of a similar level. Yes, whoever is 19, 20, they're not going to be in the same class as whoever in the top 5, right? Fair enough. But eventually it will balance out so that there is some kind of bracket where they're all of a similar kind of level. The second tier will be similar level, third tier will be similar, and it's still shifting because you have these teams that are getting relegated at the end of every season and promoted at the end of every season. And it also gives guilds something to work towards. So if I'm in the if I'm in a guild that's in the 5th tier, I want to get myself promoted into the 4th tier. So I've still got something to work towards, and it's still a goal to strive for, right? And there should be rewards. If you win your league table, you should get extra rewards, right? The current reward system is just shockingly bad, right? Bearing in mind, this is 10 weeks of work, right? 800 gems. That's not even a 10 pool of normal summons, right? But I don't do pulse summons anyway. So this works out to what? What's that, like 13 stamina pots? It's not even a day of farming, right? 6 gems, 6 ancient gems. What? This is the apex of the game. This is like the top level of the game. You've managed to stay top of the league. We're actually undefeated, but you're top of the league at the very apex of the game, and you get 6 ancient gems. To put that into perspective, the the soft pity for ancients, 180 gems, and we get 6. What is that, right? This 320 guild XP. What guild in the top? Let's look at, you know what, how this goes down to like 250, right? I'm pretty sure. Let's scroll all the way down to 250, right? So here you go, 256. They're a level 10 guild. Any guild in the top 300 is a level 10 guild. What is what is that going to do? I don't understand. This is a dead reward, just nothing. For any guild in the top 300 is pointless. What is, just take it out. It's just dead. There's literally no use for it. Scrap it, right? This is fine, right? Whales and krakens, they're going to have extra skill crystals, but there are loads of people in this game who actually benefit from this. So fine, that's okay, but give more. But there are so many people who are saying that the um the event that actually gives these, it's not happening frequently enough. They need more, so just give more of these rewards. This is fine. Just random demon soldier, it's fine. This, just give more. This is giving 2 legendary skill crystals over a 10-week period, over a 10-week season. Like, it's just shockingly bad, and this is for us who are the top tier. Second place doesn't even get that. Third place gets the same. So if you're not in the top 10, you're not even getting 1.5. What? This is a someone who's ranking in the top 10. They're not even getting 1.5 skill crystals. Everybody should be getting 2 at the very least. Like, come on, it's a 10-week thing, right? This, come on, don't take the piss. 6, when the soft pity is 180 over a 10-week period. This is just, if you look at the shop, right? Where's the shop? The guild shop, right? The only things worth buying in here are the summoning crystals, that and this, right? The legendary skill crystal and this. They're the only things worth buying, and they reset once a week, right? So either make this shop better, well, yeah, make the shop better, or just give these a quicker thing, a quicker regen, because 1 week is just not enough, right? So all of this, like, the rewards need to be better. They need to make more sense. Give rewards for winning a league table. Create this league system, and fifth tier, winning your league in your fifth tier should give you good rewards. Winning your fourth tier should give good rewards. Coming top 3 should be significantly better. Now, when you create this league table, right, then there needs to be a reason for doing well in this league, right? So if it's, I don't know, if you're going to be doing wins as 3 points, and you're going to be doing draws as 1 point. Draws don't really happen in guild versus guild as far as I'm aware, but in the off chance that it happens, you should get 1 point for it. A loss shouldn't be a negative point. It should just be no points, right? So win is 3, draw is 1, right? Do it as that. That's the first thing. If you then start doing the point of guild versus guild is you've got every time you breach a portal, you kind of knock a percentage off their health, right? And every time someone does that to you, they knock a percentage of your health. But you should be recording that. So in say I'm from the UK, right? So I follow football, and you look at goals scored and you look at goals conceded, and then you look at the goal difference. So the difference between how many goals are scored and how many goals are conceded. Similarly, if you look at portals, how many times did you breach the portal, and how many portal kind of breaches did you concede? And then look at the difference, right? Because then you're looking at the merit of offense and defense, right? And a balanced guild is good at both. So they will have a better difference or portal breach difference or whatever you want to call it, right? So then every guild has a vested interest to perform as well as they can in every guild. So guilds who play us in Immortal Elite have a reason to actually want to attack, right? Because right now, what's the point for them? They know if they know they're going to lose. A lot of these guilds, they're just disheartened and they just don't feel like attacking because this what's the point for them, right? But if they can reduce the disparity between their points gained and points lost, then they've got a reason to do it. And whoever ends up in second place, who ends up in third place, they've earned it over a 10-week period. And so they deserve to be rewarded for that. They should get better rewards. Right now, the system is so broken that guilds are timing when they lose. You get some of these top guilds who have openly admitted that they will intentionally lose earlier in the season so that they don't end up playing us in the last week. Any system that is relying on guild to intentionally lose is a broken system and it needs to be fixed. I am happy to have a discussion with the devs about how to best fix this problem. Unfortunately, there aren't too many kind of mainstream content creators who are actually in this kind of at the top levels of guild versus guild. Like I'm talking like the top 3 to 5 guilds. Like obviously you got Slate who's in the Shire, who's kind of I think to the only mainstream GVG content creator who I can think of who is actually in one of the top guilds, right? Who will end up fighting us, right? There are others probably who I have missed. I apologize if I have, but for that reason, this kind of issue is not highlighted enough, and I don't know if that's the reason that maybe the devs haven't noticed it. But the problem is that in any game like this, any game, true end game is PvP, right? It's where the highest level players play each other to kind of show who is the best, right? So it's GVG and Arena. Those are the two places where it's true end game. And so it baffles me that 6 seasons in, this still has not been fixed, right? Guilds like the Shire, obviously Dawn, CLSE, Dragon Slayers, they should not be getting knocked out of the top 3 or top 5 just because they happen to play us in the last week. It doesn't make sense. So, devs, if you're listening, sort this out, right? And please, if you're watching, share this to as many people as you can, because the more people that see this and the more people that realize that this is an actual issue for anyone who is interested in GVG, the quicker this gets sorted. I hope you guys have actually found this video useful and actually gained an understanding of, or hopefully got some ideas for how to fix this, because I'd be really interested to hear if you guys have any suggestions for how to improve things as well. So if you do, please like, comment below and subscribe. I've been Zephyros. Hopefully I'll catch you guys soon. Stay blessed. Peace out.